Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. I'm gonna keep plugging away here if I can, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm doing something a little different than usual. I'm not doing 3D. This is new. No 3D. Stream's coming in a little bit later today than usual, due to a pretty severe thunderstorm warning that was in the area here. We were getting power outages and all manner of flashes of lightning and stuff like that. And so just make sure I don't blow anything in the new machine. Left it off and yeah, sat down with the family. My in-laws are in town, and so we did a little visiting and sat with them. And so yeah, here we are, back again. Hola, Mr. Braybrook, Mr. Hughes. Welcome to the party. So here's what I've been working on. I have been plugging away on cards that I'm going to be adding to the project. These are meant to be trading card type things. And the idea with these is just to give the students a little bit more information than just what they unlocked. I'm going to be doing a trading card type thing where I can show them like, oh, look, here's what you got. You know, here's an example of it and a little bit of a breakdown of things to keep in mind when they're working on these characters. I have 50 of these things to make, 50, and the most recent one I did is Jack Frost here. And Jack Frost is the abominable snowman. And so I need a title page for the abominable. And I've got this set up in a way here that it's fairly easy to iterate on this. In order to make multiple versions of this to spit them out. And so I'm doing a couple of things here. I am Googling, and I'm kind of creating these things and saving them out. I realize I've made a mistake in the first 19 that I've made that I'm gonna have to go back and edit. Which is they are targas. My game developer brain has been plugging away on Targa, and what I should be doing is I should actually be doing JPEG out of these. And the reason that I want to do JPEG is I need it to be an attachment in an email, and I want them to actually see it in the email. And so as a result, it doesn't make a lot of sense that I do them as targas. Most targas are just going to show up as an attachment, and then the student will have to open that up. Whereas I'd like them to be able to just keep it in their email, not have to download it, just keep it in the email. And so that's why I'm kind of looking at things in this way. So here's how I do this. I've got, the only thing I've changed here so far is the name Jack Frost. I'm going to go take a look at the project here so I can keep track of what I'm doing. I've got a folder for just these items. So 18 was the practitioner of witchcraft. So I changed Jack Frost and I changed the 19. And I changed the word carrot right here because that's what you pick up for Jack Frost. And then I'm going to go change the practitioner of magic to be the Yeti. So you're going to be working on the Yeti. Now, if I go down here, rename the image that I had, magic, and paste the image that I just copied from the internet. Here's my Yeti image that I'm just going to go and throw in here. So I've set this background up to be a little window here. So what that allows me to do is just kind of frame the image however I want here, and the little window will allow it to show through, and then I get my proper blurry background here, which works out quite nicely. So Target's not just for Photoshop. there is, so let me see if I can explain this in a way that makes a lot of sense. One of the reasons that Targa is most often used for games is it is definable in terms of its size. Okay, so let's see if we can do this in a way that makes sense here. So what you get in a Targa is you get a R. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So you get an R channel, a G channel, and a B channel. And if you look up here at image mode, you can see that I'm 8 bits per channel. Now, what that means is the number of colors that you can have inside of each of these channels. So to give you an example here, with 1 bit, you're going to get either a 0 or a 1. So 1 bit is black and white. 2 bits will give you 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. So 2 bits will give you 4 colors, doubles. If you use 3 bits, we'll get 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, and 0, 1, 1. And then we'll get the same thing again with a 1 here. So 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So once we hit 3 bits, we get 8 colors. By the time you hit 8 bits, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. By the time you hit 8, the number of colors down is 256. So 8 bits gives you 256 colors. And you can actually see this here if you open up the color selector. I can set the R channel to be 0 all the way up to 255. So, and if we zero these guys out here too, that'll give us red, right? 0. So 25500, like that, that's red. So that is 8 bits per channel. We have 8 bits here, 8 bits here, 8 bits here. So that's what 8 bits per channel means. Now, when you start talking about file size, if we have 8 bits here, 8 bits here, and 8 bits here, we can do some calculation to figure out how large a file would be. So let's take, for instance, a 1024 by 1024, and we have 8 bits per channel, red, green, blue. That should tell us how big in file size our image will be. So let's bring the calculator open so that I don't have to math anything and embarrass myself. So if I bring this open and you do 1024 times 1024, that's the number of pixels in your image, times 8 bits in red, times 8 bits in green, times 8 bits in blue, that gives us a total file size of 536,870,912 bits. So when you do 16-bit instead of 8-bit, instead of 255 color options, you're actually going to get 512 options, being 511 being the biggest. Now, typically what you do when you get 16-bit is when you're doing something like a curvature map. In a curvature map, you have middle gray as being your middle, and then you go up to white and down to black. And so what that does is it actually gives you 255 here and 255 here. That's why you get some images that are really, really, really broad in how much grayscale they get. Now, if I take this number, let's go to Google here, and we're going to say this bits in megabytes. So there is 67 megabytes in a file size that is that big. And the reason that that's important is that if I were to go make a 1024 by 1024, so if I go into Photoshop here, new, and let's make it 1024 and 1024. I'm going to make sure it's 8 bits per channel. I'll hit create, and I'm going to save this as a target. Save as. And we're going to go put it cabin in the woods, cards, and I'll just throw it in here temporarily. I'll make it a targa, and I'll call it size. And I'll say, aha. So now what it wants to do is it wants to know, what are we doing in terms of the alpha channel? Are you doing 16 bits per channel, 24 bits per channel, or 32 bits per channel? So I'm going to go to 16 bits, which is going to remove the alpha channel altogether. And let's go look at the size of this file now. So here's the file size, and we are at 2 megabytes. So if we go look at Google, what we were looking at, this number of, that's not bits, that should be bytes. First of all, shut up, Google. My phone just started talking to me. Now that's way bigger than it should have been. I might have done the math wrong. 8. Oh, yeah, no, because I'm an idiot. Image file, save as, and let's do 24-bit. Let's overwrite this. So the bits per channel, the way this works, I save as a target. Yes, I want to replace it. There we go. So what we have here in 24 bits per channel, we've got our 8, 8, and 8. Right? 8 and 8 is 16, and another 8 is 24. So that's where we get our 24 bits. 32 bits is going to give us an alpha channel that is also 8 bits, which is why you get grayscale in the alpha. And so now, instead of being, and I got the thing still open here, instead of being 2 megabytes, cancel that. Now that that's saved, go to properties here. It's now an extra megabyte in size. So we got 3 megabytes. So you can see here the number here too, right? In bytes, 3,145,777. So my math that I did here was really, really wrong. I don't want to do times 8 times 8 times 8. I want to add these things together. So it's 1024 times 1024 times 24. So that's where this went sideways. So you do 1024 times 1024 times 24. And that should give us, oh, we're still way over. That's 25 megs. So that's way too big. Let's try 8 bits per channel. So 1024 times 1024 times 8. 8 megs. That's way over too. There's got to be something else going on. But anyway, there is a mathematical way that we can use to calculate the actual file size that should be there. I thought the math was that you add them together. But anyway, so yeah, when you're in Substance and you use a 16-bit per channel image, you're going to get something a lot larger. In fact, if I open that guy up, the white one that I just made, I just go bring this in here, and I say image mode, and we go from 18 bits to 32 bits, and I hit save. You're going to see that I don't get the target option anymore. And again, the reason for this is targets can't exist in 32-bit. And so we don't get that option here. PNG is not in here either. And JPEG isn't here either. And that's because we're dealing with a lot of colors now. If I bring the mode down to 16-bit, sure, HDR toning. And then we're going to say save as. You're going to see that the options change again. We now have JPEG, the ability to compress this, and we also have PNG in here anymore, but Targa is still missing. And so you'll notice that if you're ever in Substance Painter and you're using a 16-bit option for anything, you're not going to be allowed to export your textures as Targa. And if you do, the software will say, well, we're going to nerf everything. We're going to bring it down to 8-bit for you. And the reason for that is that Targa cannot exist in anything above 8-bit. And so that's when you go into image and mode here. That's what these things are for. You can also select grayscale, which is just 8 bits, right? That's all that is. Not 8 bits per channel. It's just 8 bits. And then you've also got duotone, which is 1 bit, which is really, 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 really small. You're dealing with just 2 bits there, right? It's black or it's white. You get just 2 colors. And so anyway, that's what that stuff does. And so anyway, what I've got to do, because I started creating these things with the whatchamacallit in mind. Where's I lost my thing. There we go. Because I started creating this stuff with the with Targa in mind, I was aiming that route, and so that's why things are looking the way they are. Okay, so I now need to recreate a thing here. Is the Yeti. So let's go in here. Let's go to my text tool, and I should be able to the Yeti. Click here. Yeah. Okay. This creature exists in many cultures under different names. Colon. The Yeti in Nepal. Bigfoot in America. Merca. And in Canada, Sasquatch. I'll have to put that. And in Canada, doink, Sasquatch. You can use any version of this creature for your character as long as it is frightening. Because I'm standing still. Don't be afraid to push the design. Your second character can be the human that becomes the creature, or a victim of the creature. You may also choose to create the hero that vanquishes this evil. So this guy's now done. I think I'm going to actually rename him. I like the name Jack Frost, but I think what I'm going to do is rename this the Yeti. And then we're going to go save as. Ding this as a JPEG now, because I might as well start doing that. This is 19, if I'm not mistaken, dash the Yeti. And I do have to open all the other ones and save them as JPEGs. You got it, man. Bobby, I imagine it'll be, I don't know, like a fucking week before it gets to you. You got right through me on our way to you. You got to move right through. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to kill this thing. I'm going to go and convert these things to JPEGs here. I wish it was simply as simple as just converting it, but that's not going to work. So I'm going to pull this one in here. Control-Shift-Save. Be able to see them all here now as I do this. So, card 1 of 50, the humanoid alien. And we're just going to switch this to JPEG. Alien beast. Save it. Save it. Oh, Shazbot. Yeah, I'm going to have to end up renaming these things. Card number 2, Kaiju. I've actually edited Kaiju. Kaiju was something else originally, and I didn't like it, and so I've switched it, and now it's the Kaiju. And I'm excited to do the totem for the Kaiju. Blood and do 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 do. Card number 3. The Evil Clown. Hey, Yoshi! JPEG. Dum 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 dum. Okay, we can kill that one. Down alone, I've got a storybook on my own. Number 4 of 50. The Deadite. Go and save this one. You actually get to see all the totems here. Well, I mean, you'll get to see 19 of the totems. God damn it. No, I did that right. Deadite Targa can go. I'm going to get my wife and maybe like 3 other people to read these things. Number 4. The Demon. JPEG. Save. Close. Delete. No, damn it. Yeah, that works. Number 6. The Goblin. Know me by name. Doink. Alright. It's Van Goblin done. Delete. This one, actually, I had to work pretty hard to get an image here. And the reason for this, and I'm trying really, really hard to do this, is that I'm trying to keep gender out of everything that I'm doing. I don't want to use a gender-specific term. I want to make sure that absolutely everything is ambiguous and that you can make whatever. I didn't want to use the word doctor and have a male there. And I couldn't find a picture online of a female doctor, let alone one that was creepy. And that sucked. And when I did look up any kind of female medical professional, all I got were like sexy nurses. And I was like, this is stupid. Like, you can't find a creepy version of one of these characters and without her being, dressed like Harley Quinn. And so what I did was I actually found this woman who was just a doctor, and she was holding a syringe. And so I photoshopped this. I wanted a creepy female doctor. I didn't want to use a male doctor. And so I found a picture of a female doctor getting a syringe ready. And so I creepied up her makeup. I creepied up the background just by making it look a little bit concrete and ugly. Messed with her skin tone. Messed with the overall color of the image. And I actually made the syringe full of green shit instead of, I don't know, whatever was in there before. And so I ended up making my own creepy version of a female doctor. But everything else, it's been really, really hard to find gender-neutral versions of these things. And I try to, whenever I end up with one gender, I try to do the other. Like, we got the Evil Clown as the, obviously, very male. And so for the very next one, the Deadite, I went female. And I grabbed a very female version of that. And so I'm trying to ping-pong back and forth when I can. But man, is it not easy to find gender-neutral creatures. It's not like a thing. Okay, the Giant. Bonus marks for anyone who can name that giant. The Devil. This one too was really hard to find a female devil. And so I resorted to a very old drawing of what people thought the devil looked like. JPEG. I've waited here for you ever long. the Jack-o'-lantern. Out of the head she sang. I just realized I don't have Discord open. There might be some conversations happening over yonder. And waste away with me. Down with me. Okay. I already saved that. So we can delete the targa. This actually isn't going anywhere near as slowly as I want to do. So again, where I had a male Jack-o'-lantern, which I don't know, maybe the female is a Jenny-o'-lantern? I know a male is a jackass when you're talking about the donkey or the mule. Male is a jackass and the female is a Jenny-ass. And so maybe if it's a Jack-o'-lantern, there's a Jenny-o'-lantern? Kim Mitchell saying about patio lanterns. Maybe it's Patty. I don't know. Anyway, where that one was obviously male, I made sure that the mummy was female. I mean, for cripe's sakes, it's a mommy. It has to be female. It's not a daddy. Hold you in. I know you've always been. Out of the head, out of the head, I sang. The Mutant. Sing along with you. Everything could ever feel this real forever. Everything could ever be this good again. That was The Mutant. The Reanimated. You win. She sang. No, don't switch it to target, stupid. After the Reanimated, we have Reptilius. Human-reptile hybrid. And I wonder, everything could ever feel this real forever. Wendigo. Only thing I'll ever ask of you, it's gotta promise not to stop when I say you win. And then finally, oh. This is had the wrong name altogether. This should be Scarecrow. Yapeg. Not Wendigo. Scarecrow. I'm going to have to end up renaming a bunch of these things because if my naming convention is wrong, it won't use the right attachment. And that'll be super important. Okay, so let's go take a look at these now. I'm going to change my view here to be details, and I'm going to make sure to... Aha! There's a creature from the Black Lagoon. JPEG. Okay, save that. Ugh, excuse me, I am dying here. Chicken. Creature, and I can get rid of Wendigo. And then finally, the last one is the Practitioner. Is the Practitioner of Magic, which is the only gender neutral way I could find to describe a witch and a warlock. Okay. Go back to large icons here. Extra large icons. Let me take a look at them. Inside, you're dying. Inside. Ooh, almost lost my stylus. Here we go, here we go. Giddy up, giddy up. Okay, that's good. Let me just go. No, don't do that. Double check this guy. Yeti, 19. You've picked up the carrot. The creature you'll be creating for the duration of 30 years is the Yeti. This creature exists in many cultures under different names. The Yeti in Nepal, Bigfoot in America, and in Canada, that should be a comma. Sasquatch. You can use any version of this creature for your character, as long as it's frightening. Don't be afraid to push the design. Your second character can be the yada yada yada. Okay, that's good. Da 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 da. Okay, so this has to be. I'm gonna use that name, but I gotta put it in the right folder. Do 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 do. Okay, that was the Yeti. Where's my document? Do I not have it open? I guess I don't have it open. No bother. I'll go back. Documents, and I need my totem list. Boom, 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 boom. Hooah. Okay, that opened up. Who's next? Carrot, garlic, the vampire. So again, this is going to have to be a female vampire. So, first things first, we change the number, 20. We change the name, the vampire. We're going to put that on 2 separate lines. You have picked up the garlic. Some really cool stuff about garlic. Let me tell you something. No, don't do that. Don't do that. The vampire. Bomberado. So here is a vegetable called a leek. This is a an onion, more or less. This leek, and it's part of the onion family. And here is a pike, gar pike. Actually, not that kind of pike. Let's look for a gar weapon. So here's a gar. This kind of elongated spear. And when they were finding these vegetables for the first time, and back when the English language was forming, what they found was a onion like this, like a leek, that was very elongated in the way that it grows. And it had this leek. And when you see garlic growing, it's got these like really long stems on them. And like that. And so what they found was that these looked like leeks, but they had the long shaft on them. And so they had these poles that they called gars. And they're like, oh, so it's a leek that's long like a gar. And so the word became agar leek, which ended up becoming garlic. Which is very fascinating. I tell you, the amount of absolutely useless information that resides inside of my head. Under different names, many different cultures. But most owe their existence to one. Dracula. Yeah, there's a podcast that I listen to, Bobby, which is the history of the English language, and it starts with the early Indo-European language, and goes through a lot of how we learned how our language came to be, kind of the history of what it is that we speak. And many of the things that were in that were just absolutely fascinating. I'll give you another one here. This is absolutely brilliant. So you've been about. You're a fairly young feller, and so odds are you've been out to a pub, and you might have come across one called Ye Old Pub written on a sign. And everybody sees this, and they call it exactly the same thing. Ye Old Pub. But it's not actually what it says. And once upon a time in our alphabet, there was a letter that looked like this, which is called thorn. And thorn used to get written pretty quick, to the point that it kind of became a Y. In fact, you can kind of draw a Y out of the same shape that is thorn. And so you end up with this kind of thing that became what looks like a Y. And so it's kind of an interesting way of this one letter turning into what is this other letter. Now, the thing that's interesting about this is that the sound that thorn makes, or made back when it was a letter. Thorn was the letter responsible for the sound TH. And so when you see this written, it's not a Y, it's actually the sound TH, and this is the Old Pub. And so this isn't ye, it's the. And in fact, when you hear any of these town criers, hear ye, they're actually saying hear thee too. They're misrepresenting the letter thorn to become a letter Y. And so that's another instance of, kind of really cool stuff that came from our language evolving over time. Let me go back in my text. Dracula. Think of Nosferatu, Dracula, and Blade. Comma. Oxford, comma, and Blade. Three vampires that look nothing alike. Okay, image of a vampire. Again, I gotta go female with this, not a leak, but a vampire. Let's see what we can find. Female. Let's see how hard it is to find a female vampire without boobies. I'm up all night to get lucky. All night to get lucky. Do 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 do. What we do in the shadows. Sounds familiar. What we do in the shadows. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, it's comedy. Yeah. I'm just looking it up right now. Oh, that actually looks really good. But no, I've not seen it. That was not bad. It's low res. Oh. When in doubt, Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale's vampire is the best female vampire because she doesn't hang all her bits out for no reason. Now, granted, you know, there's story behind female vampires being seductresses, and there is something that kind of works with that, but really, it doesn't actually need to be that way. And so I might Beckinsale this if I don't find anything else that works. Here's Beckinsale. See, that's how you female vampire. George, my friend, how the hell are you, buddy? It's a name I have not seen in a long time. I am working on, so George, back when you were in my character class, and you did a soldier, I've kind of gotten away from that, and I have a game that I make students play in the first week of class that decides what character they're going to be working on. And we are this semester going to be doing creatures and either victims or heroes to defeat said characters. And I'm designing a game inside of Unreal Engine that students will play in order to figure out what creature they're going to be. And so there's a little bit of random to it, but it's going to be something that's pretty fun. And so right now, what I'm working on are the cards. These are it's supposed to be something similar to like a baseball card kind of thing. And these are the cards that students are going to get in their email when they play the game, and that they end up inadvertently making a choice in the game. And so that's what I'm working on here now. And so I'm just looking for an image to use for my vampire. I've been trying to bounce back and forth between the genders, making sure that I don't just use male and I don't just use female. So every time I get one that's male, I use female for the next one where there needs to be a gender. And so, yeah, that's what I'm plugging away on. This is actually character selection game 3.0. I've done 2 previous to this that were pretty fun, but yeah, that is what it is that I'm doing, my friend. And the heteronormative male inside of me is dictating that I must Beckinsale. Because gosh darn it, that is a vampire. The hell was her name again in the show, in the movie? That's not very good. Get in the pit and try to love someone. I forget what her name was in that movie. It's been so long since I've seen an Underworld movie. Yeah, she did make a great vampire. And I am a huge fan of the Beckinsale. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. But I did find it really funny when they made a movie that was meant to be a prequel, and the actress they got to be the vampire in that one, I didn't realize for the longest time wasn't her. You know, Bobby, I can't even offer an opinion into that because it's Twilight. I've never seen them, dude. I just wouldn't mind trying to find an image of her where she is vamped out, because that would be the best type of image to get, where she's fang ready. Because I don't want just like Kate Beckinsale in a black outfit. She's not very vampire. And also, I'm trying to pay attention to the dimensions of my little window. So I've made this very kind of baseball card shape where the image goes. And so finding something that is widescreen doesn't work. I need it to be a vertical image in order to frame it correctly. And so I wouldn't have thought that was a hard thing to find. I disagree, Bobby. I disagree. In fact, I think if you had a girlfriend in 2012 and you convinced her not to see Twilight, you might be married now, my friend. Hey now. Here she is. So this is the other female lead that they got to play. This is Rona Mitra, and Rona was actually she got her start as a model portraying Laura Croft. Very, very British, and she would do cons for I think it was IDOS back at the time. It was before Crystal Dynamic took over, and she would go in costume as Tomb Raider to these cons before kind of really jumping into the acting thing. Still got a purpose to serve. Done. Both because I'm tired of looking and because that's a really cool picture. Gotta let me lose my nerve. Let me lose my nerve. So I'm going to rename this Yeti, and then I'm going to hit Control V to paste, transform, and then we're just going to scale this down, put it in the window, and make her fit. Hopefully without overlap here. And I'll bring it down a little bit. There we go. Not the most vampire image I ever could have found. No, yeah. Volturi? That's what they were? What, boobies? You lost me, Bobby. Oh, hey now. Okay, so this is 21. No, 20. 20. Leave the lights on. I'm going to do something here just to simplify my life a little bit, which is I'm going to save this as a PSD in the cards folder, just so that I don't have to browse to the folder as I do this. Okay, to my chart after the werewolf. Fancy vampires. You mean the glittery kind? Vampires don't fucking glitter. They bite your neck. I totally forgot what I was doing. Werewolf. The werewolf. Tiaria. Ashanatsao. Where used to be the one of the terms for our people. Bray's back. Butch the place up here a little bit. Bobby's in trouble. He's digging himself a grave. You know what? Loving it, loving it. I'm going to switch this to the bullets. You picked up the bullets. Actually, let's be more specific. You picked up the silver bullets. The creature you're doing for vampire third year is the werewolf. Okay. This doesn't have to be your traditional human full moon half wolf. As a human canine hybrid. So, and there's spelling mistakes all over the place in these things. Bum bum ba-da-dum ba-da-da-dum-dum. Now, I need a werewolf. And since I just did female, we are going to go male werewolf. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-da. So many werewolf designs are just a wolf head on a man's body. I like the ones where they actually really blend, where they really blend the anatomy together. Slip kid, slip kid. Dum 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 dum. I did. It was actually just called The Werewolf, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how I felt about it. There it is right there. That's Benicio del Toro's Werewolf. I don't really know how I felt about it. It was good, I guess. It was okay, I guess. I think one of the things that I liked the best werewolf-wise was the American Werewolf series. And American Werewolf in London was fantastic. But the American Werewolf in Paris sequel that they made like years later introduced some really, really neat ideas that I thought were really, really cool. They were talking about the lycanthropic cycle, and the loop that happens. Lupus? the loop that happens when someone turns into a werewolf and turns back human again, and that it wasn't just full moon that did it. That it was actually tied to the lead female of the pack's menstruation cycle, and that 28 day cycle was what drove the transformation of the entire pack, which was just an absolutely incredible thing. That they were like tying the two things together. It was really kind of a neat concept. You know what, dude? My son and I watched that. I shit you not, we watched that a month ago. Fat kid kicked Wolfman in the nards. Maybe I'll do the Monster Squad. Werewolf. He was a really good design. Down, down, do down, ba-do-do-do-do. Oh, I barely remember Ginger Snaps. Actually, okay. Here's a long shot for you. My favorite werewolf movie. Oh, Ian, I didn't even realize that was you talking. Ian, meet Bobby. Bobby, meet Ian. Bobby's a former student of mine from back in my Seneca days, and is a now former EA employee, works at Gasket now. And Bobby, Ian, is my longest, oldest, and dearest friend. He and I went to high school together, and got into games together. And so, yeah, Ian, Bobby's been very vocal and very active here in the community. And so, gentlemen meet gentlemen. Anyway, back to my favorite werewolf movie of all time. And this is going to be one that I guarantee you many of you haven't seen. And it's very poorly shot. It was a low-budget film. It was really, really bad in the way that, like the cameras are very jarring and stuff like that. But it was brilliant. I think it was called War Dogs. And, yeah, War Dogs. No, not War Dogs. That's not it. Shoot. I thought that was what the name is. Werewolf movie. Yeah, there it is. Dog Soldiers. That's what it was called. Dog Soldiers. And it's a really, really low budget movie. Yeah, Dog Soldiers. It takes place in Scotland with a bunch of military fellas who are like they're on a training mission when they come across a werewolf and like all hell breaks out. And the story is brilliant. Yes, Dog Soldiers, Dog Soldiers, Dog Soldiers. Dude, there's a lag. I've been talking for 20 minutes by the time I see your text. Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers. I got it. It's Dog Soldiers. But yes, Dog Soldiers was just awesome to have, like, it's military versus werewolves, which was just awesome. It is hard to watch because the camera work is so bad. Like they didn't have a cinematography director or anything like that. It is rough to watch. But man, is it ever an awesome freaking movie. It is one of those, you've got to watch it if you haven't seen it before. It's Dog Soldiers it's one of those things that is just recommended watching. It is brilliant. How about werewolf? Werewolf from Love, Death, Robots. I just want to see the werewolf from the Love, Death, and Robots short, because that was really cool too. It was actually Dog Soldiers totally reminded me of that. because that was this image. The transformations were brilliant in this. Colin, that, you know what? It's very, very similar to Predator in the way that the story plays out and everything. If you have not seen Love, Death, and Robots, I can only highly recommend that. It is some of the greatest CGI I've ever seen. So good. So good. And the stories are all kind of fun, too. They're all short. They're anywhere between, like, I think it's 7 or 8 minutes is the shortest one, and like 15 minutes is the longest one. I was hoping to get, again, I want something vertical for this. That would work if he wasn't blurry. Blur. Woohoo! You got it, George. Love, Death, and Robots is the shit. It is so well done. Everything in that is so good. Even the stuff that's like crazy stylized is just, it's so beautiful to look at. In this home, that is me. Done. Use that one. Okay, this guy. I'm gonna go rename this to Vampire. I've been at your me, sad, overwhelmed. We'll put our lichen. No, don't do that. This. Rotate. Rotate. I wouldn't hate it if I could see both of his hands. There we go. Let's move it up. There we go. In this hole, that is the... Was I at Cabin in the Woods, cards, where Vampire was 20. So I am at 21. Now been it to me. Save. Not target. Stop targeting. This. One. The werewolf. Werewolf. Okay, that one's done. Next one. The Ring Wraith. In this hole. Maybe I'll just call it the Wraith. And then sets you free. You have picked up the One Ring. The creature doing it is the Wraith. Happy now. Go and remove this. A Wraith. Is a ghost-like figure caught between the land of the living and the land of the dead. Roaming in eternity. Roaming limbo I don't want a capital L. Limbo. Until over to one world or the other. Holy spelling Batman. What God would tear my heart? What God tore us apart? There's Yash, Christian, gentlemen, welcome, welcome. I need a Wraith picture now. Whoa. Not the car. Not the car. Not the car. Although I could put a picture of the car, but that's not what I... Or Apex Legends. You know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a Ring Wraith. Because they are good interpretations of the Wraith. And I'll be able to find something really beautiful that will work. The shotgun's loaded. Don't do that. Let's name this layer Werewolf. Paste. I'm born free. So technically the creature I'm doing is a Wraith. The Ring Wraiths just happen to be really good examples of what a Wraith is. So the difference between a Wraith and a Ghost is someone who died and they've come back as a spirit. The Ring Wraiths, not the Ring Wraiths, a Wraith has never crossed over. They didn't actually fully die. They are trapped in between the world of the living and the world of the dead until they can accomplish whatever feat that they need to do in order to cross over. And usually their goal is to cross over into the land of the dead. But Tolkien used them in Lord of the Rings, and obviously there were the Ring Wraiths there. They were the 9 kings who had been given rings before being betrayed. But they are just that, right? They kind of live in the ring world. They're not alive and they're not dead. They're kind of somewhere in between. And it's the ring bearer who can see them when he puts the ring on and transitions into that world. And so it isn't technically the Ring Wraith, but because that's such a really good example of what a Wraith is, that is the example that I'm using for this. Yeah, something like Purgatory, Limbo, Nirvana. There's lots of terms for it. Okay, we'll save this. Whoa, whoa. I did 22 this thing, right? Yep, 22. The Wraith. Okay. After the Wraith, Zombie. With their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. Where do I take this pain of mine? You have picked up the brain. The creature you will be creating for the duration of 30 years is the zombie. Now, you might be wondering why the zombie is so obvious, that it's a brain you pick up and you become the zombie. The reason for that is that I think zombie is actually going to be one of the harder ones to do. You got that, Bobby? Wow, that was good. I didn't think anybody was going to pick up on that. Oh, yeah? I didn't play that. I was a little, you know what? I was, to be honest, after the first 3 movies that were 12 hours long, and then the next 3 movies that I didn't really care about midway through, by the time the games came out, man, I was so done with giving a shit that I just didn't ever play them. I understand there were some really good things that happened in them, but just wasn't there. Okay, we'll get rid of this line. The Walking Dead. Dead. The Living Dead. Don't want you breathe. Man, those things all suck. The undead. No, god damn it. The undead. Okay, we're zombie picture time. The Last of Us. No, we're not doing any fucking mushroom heads here. No fucking mushroom heads. I don't Neil Druckmann. Thank you very much. Let's see what we can find for zombie. Now this is going to be tricksy because if I can, I would like to avoid, uber gore, if I can. Man, those teeth are terrible. That's really good. That's really bad, but it's really good. And so, if you've been keeping track with my gender bouncing back and forth, we are up to female zombie. And so there's that. Dum 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 dum. They are. That's what I'm making, Ash, is right now these are the cards. So when a student picks up something inside of the map, they're going to be booted out of the game and they're going to receive an email that contains one of these cards. And I've been going through doing all 50 cards. I'll start here. So there's the humanoid alien, the kaiju, the evil clown, the deadite, the demon, the goblin, the doctor, the giant, the devil, the jack-o'-lantern, creature from the Black Lagoon, which I'm just calling creature from the lagoon. Go down to the Winchester, have a pint. The mummy, the mutant, the reanimated Reptilius, the Wendigo, the Scarecrow, Practitioner of Magic, the Yeti, the Vampire, the Werewolf, the Wraith. And so, yeah, no, there are 50 different things that are going to be in the, and that's what this list is. This list is all 50 that are going to be there. And so I'm going through and actually hitting the right versions of each of these things. So, I need a zombie picture. I need a Zomba girl. I don't think I'm going to have as much issue finding a zombie that isn't sexy. Why is it vampires can be sexy, but werewolves not, or zombies not? I don't understand. I think I want to stay from away from the Walking Dead too. Let's look for female zombie. And what if you can see? They can. There is no elimination. The only way that I could do elimination with the way that this game is working, because everybody's going to be playing it from somewhere else, is if I was to include networking, have a server somewhere that has a list of all the things that are in this, and every time somebody plays, it logs into the server and removes it from the list. And I ain't there yet. That might be Jennifer's Body. She was kind of a zombie. Yeah. Oh, look. Apparently you can have sexy zombies. I didn't think that was a thing. Daz Studio. For people who want to art but can't. Daz. I also really run the risk of of getting shut down on YouTube, having a Google search open, because if any of the images come back as inappropriate, the Google thing will find it and shut me down, or YouTube's thing will find it and shut me down. The beast is ugly, but I can't hold it. In the money in my house. What is this? Again, I kind of painted myself in a corner here in having this this very vertical frame that I'm trying to fill. I feel like a rock star. I don't want to use video game art. That seems cheating. Oh yeah, Daz. In under lock and key, but I can't control it. Turn me on, bring me down. Make it end. Feel like a monster. Wow, those are some good zombies. It's just beneath the skin. I feel like a monster. How big is this? Not big enough. Am I doing large image search here? I'm not. It wants my soul, it wants my heart. Maybe it's just a dream. Stop this monster. Feel like a monster. Not quite. Yeah, but I don't want to muddy the waters, Christian, and give them the idea of doing a zombie superhero. And actually, Superman is going to be in one of the totems. So, can't really go that way. Oh, don't go to places I don't want you to go to. Don't do it, man. Done. We're gonna use that. Raise a little hell. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, this is the Wraith. Paste. Bum, 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 bum. Come on. What the? What? No, don't. Paste. Edit. If you don't like... Oh, I gotta scale up. I don't like scaling up. I think I dated her in college. Okay. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell, raise a little hell. So this is 23. The zombie. The ancient ones. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell, little hell. Move this up. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell, raise a little hell. You have picked up the prayer stone. Cyborg Ninja. I do have Cyborg in here, somewhat. I'm going to see if somebody ever picks up on it. Is the Ancient One. The creature of the ring is the Ancient One. Rum bum 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 bum. I'm working on a project for this game and the Ghoulish Gary and movie posters for years. It makes alternate versions. Oh, yeah? That's cool, Bobby. Okay, so we need a picture of the Ancient Ones. Now, the Ancient Ones is actually specifically from the movie Cabin in the Woods. And so we're actually going to see probably the Ancient Ones. We're probably going to see some form of that beautiful. That is, I really like that. Okay, let's rename Zombie Girl. Paste. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell. Bum bum boom. There we go. And we got some Ancient Ones. I'm gonna move him over a little bit. There we go. The Ancient Ones. Yeah. These beings predate the universe. It is long. Why I keep capital the letter N? It has long been assumed that they alone are responsible for all of existence. But what on earth do they look like? Well, that part is up to you. Dum dum dum. If I breathe tonight, set you right. 24. Ancient ones. When I'm gone. Okay. Should probably post that. Okay. We did Ancient One. What's after the Ancient One? Wad of Gum, the Blob. The Blob. The Blob. 5. I'm falling asleep when I'm gone. I would survive. You have picked up the Wad of Gum. You sick fuck. The creature you'll be creating for the duration of 3rd year is the Blob. These creatures are a collection form. Each person's background. Consider thinking of each person. Hey, Ian, while you're here, if you're still here, Bobby and I were actually, Bobby was thinking of this. All credit goes to him. I'm doing a portfolio review where we get a bunch of industry guys onto Discord and have as many of these students join in and give them all kind of a group portfolio review. You'd be interested in doing something like that? Peel me off this Velcro seat. Get me moving. Okay, so I got 3 blobs to choose from. The blob. Yeah, man, I thought you might be interested. So I got 3 options for the blob. Option number 1 is the blob, which I'm not really thinking of. Nice. And the other one that I'm thinking of is shit. What's the Nathan Fillion one? I know one of you is going to type it as soon as you hear me ask, and I'll get it before you do. Slither. See, I told you I was going to have it before you did. Your message just popped up. Now, again, the goal here is to not completely get something gross. Patient, lost it's lost. You're fucking lazy. Shoo. And the third and final option that I have for this is Carpenter's The Thing. Yep. Absolutely, man. The Thing is, and actually, you had typed that before I said it. But yeah, I mean, we're just looking for an amalgamation of people, right? Many people into one form. And the problem is that I need something that's going to work without it being incredibly gross. You know, the last thing I want is to send automated emails to people that gross them out. How gross is that? Fairly. Oh. Okay, Carpenters. The Thing. Let's see if. Okay, just Carpenter. Oh no. Yeah, I might go do this. You know what, Christian? I love to assume that students are adults. But man, would you be freaking wrong in that situation. She likes it fast and soft. Come on. I don't want paste twice. No. Oh, scale this up too, I guess. I don't want to scale up. I don't like scaling up. It's not too bad. Alright, that's not too bad. Till the sun goes down. Oh. Goodbow. Dun dum dun dum digga dugga digga dugga digga dugga digga dugga digga dum 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 do. Okay, another one done. Blob. That hits the halfway point. People on the street when the sun comes out. Ah, the monocle. Okay, let's do this. 26 of 50. You have picked up the monocle. And the creature that you are doing, Cyclops. It's just a beautiful day. It kind of just evolved, Yash. So that I showed you the other ones that I made, right? With the Plinko and the roulette wheel. So they all kind of evolved out of random. You know, what can you do that is random? Roulette is really, really easy to make random. The Plinko board, that started off, in fact, the project is still called Bubblegum. And the reason for that is that I actually meant to do it as a gum ball dispenser, that you would turn the dial and one of those little plastic things would pop out. And when you opened it up, it would have what your character was inside. And so that was how that one started. And I ended up going with the Plinko board. Once I started getting the physics to work correctly, Plinko was more fun. This one actually evolved out of something completely different. This one was originally going to be, just zombies. I was going to make the entire class do zombies. And what was going to be random about it, it was going to be a vending machine. And inside the vending machine were going to be various things from different careers. You know, so there might be like a cop's badge for a police officer and maybe a firefighter's helmet or whatnot. Like just little tokens of different careers. And whatever token came out, you had to make the zombie version of that person and the survivor version of that person. And I thought that was really, really cool. But it got to the point where I just didn't want to make everybody do a zombie. I didn't just want zombies. And so I thought, you know what I'll do is I'll open it up to all different kinds of monsters and creatures and stuff. And that's really where this came from. And it wasn't until I decided I was going to do tons of different monsters and creatures that I was like, well, obviously, if I'm doing that, I have to reproduce Cabin in the Woods, because that principle is just brilliant. And so that's where it came from. Okay. Mythological creatures with a single eye. The S didn't show up. And an appetite for human flesh. Sure. Yeah, that's where it came from. There's always some kind of evolution of idea, and how it kind of keeps getting pushed further and further and further. The background system that makes this thing work, like it's what I'm doing on Unreal with this project is really, really, really not all that different from what Bubblegum was or the Overwatch one. There's very evolution of the code. Like once you start getting a list of 50 things and randomly picking one of them, there's not a lot that changes there. Creature, think about their dwelling, as that can help dictate their look. Yeah, the ending got a little funny. Okay, is this a cave? Yeah, no, I can do cave. Cyclops. An ancient Greek Cyclops. Boom, doo, doo, doo. Okay. Bets on how long it takes before we get the X-Men show up here. Second row. 2 rows. Oh my gosh. We got a female Cyclops, just like that. It's not like I... in all the right places. Weep. But you're hot as hell. I'd leave if I could. I'm not in love, but the sex is good. You can't mistake it, 'cause it's understood. Okay, so we'll save this. On a leg 26. See how default to target I am? 26. What? 26. The Cyclops. The mythical two-eyed Cyclops. Who's next? The gnome hat. I think I'm actually just going to do a garden gnome and not a gnome hat. I ain't sleeping. The gnome. How pissed you think someone's going to be if they get the gnome? You've picked up the garden gnome. The creature you'll be doing for the duration of the year is the gnome. It's understood. I'm not in love, but the sexy is good. Oh yeah, Yash. I just saw your Discord message. Yeah, dude, there was a killer storm here. My phone was lighting up with all kinds of warnings of don't go outside and everything like that, and power went out like 6 times. And we haven't got any like there's no power lines or anything. It's all underground, and so the power going out here like is a big friggin' deal. Really big deal. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Gnomes. I'm not. Come on, you. Gnomes are diminutive. Humanoid. Humanoid beings that typically live underground. They are said to have magical powers. So scared off the way. I feel so alone now. Powers. But I had never seen one of them. No, that's not the way I want to go with this. Powers. Rarely seen. They're said to have magical powers, but I rarely seen. Well, there's some. Dying slowly. Okay, gnome time. Gnome alone? Without you. Man, I would love it if my wife would let me put a gnome up like that. That is possibly the greatest thing I've ever seen. However, dying. Okay, none of those is what I want. I'm not wrong, right? It's the greatest gnome ever. Late at night I can hear the crying. I do it all just to fall asleep. Be nice if they had the traditional hat on, but I guess it's also not something I need to worry about. Okay, let's use this guy. We are for so long. How could I save in the dark? Okay. Now, I don't want to have dude's signature just hanging off the map here, so we'll unpaint his signature for the card. And we'll save it. This is 27. The gnome. Many questions. It's not the image I was looking for. Gnome antlers. The forest spirit. A fallen angel in the dark. Now, I gotta be careful here when choosing the forest spirit, because I don't want a Wendigo. That is not the goal here. I need to do something that is a little bit more out there. In your eyes. See, that is very not Wendigo. I was right beside you when... Yeah, I think I'm going to use that. Wendigo is already done and is already one of the characters. And so I want to make sure that there's a difference here. Really, I'm splitting hairs. There is very little difference between this and that. I'd like to get those people off screen if I could. Okay, let's go do a little paint over here to clean this up. Use my old clone stamper. And go get rid of this. Let's pull that opacity down a little bit. I just don't need people in this. There we go. See, like he was never there. The forest spirit. Tell me, spirit. Tell me, spirit. Whose grave is this, spirit? You have picked up the antlers. The forest spirit. With the silver, let's go straight for the gold. Hey, hey. Do. There. Hmm. Black lips, pale eyes. She's a killer. She's mine. What a spirit. Tell me, spirit. All I hear is Ebenezer whenever I hear the word spirit. That's all. That's all that goes through my head. The book, two-headed creature. Okay. The book. $29. The two-headed creature. And we gotta change the font on this a little bit. To wash your hair in his dirty clothes. You have picked up the nature book. The creature you are doing is the two-headed creature. $40 million polys. Camera's on, It's my wife done come in. What are you looking for, love?
Duct tape.
No, I don't have any duct tape. What do you need duct tape for? Huh? Yeah, no, we don't own duct tape. Oh, goodness. Apologies. It's me wife coming in looking for duct tape. Decimated, dude. Dude, decimated down 10 just to 10%. Go from 40 to 4, which, like, that'll be plenty. No. Decimation. Decimation. Dude, the ZBrush guy is saying decimation. To Obi-Wan you listen. Okay, um, Ba-da-doom, boom, doom, 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 ba-da-doom, doom, doom, doom. Okay, let's look up polycephaly. This might be a little gross. Hey, yo. Polycephaly happens in nature quite a bit, actually, where you get all manner of creatures born with double noggins, which is just a thing. I believe it's very closely associated to conjoined twins, where the level of conjoining is pretty far up there. But I don't think I'm going to use this, because this is all nature stuff, which is what I'm going to use in the book right now. And so I'm going to look up two-headed monster and see what I find this way. Maybe not monster. I'm gonna live it up just to hear you sing it out. Do-do-do, do-do-do. We rely on. I did do female last time, so I am on the male. Listen what I say, oh. I've got your hey, oh. Listen what I say, oh. Really like that guy. Let it go. Another perfect wonder, and there's so and the snow. Okay, two-headed filler. White as snow. Running through the field where all my tracks will be concealed. If you drop a sub-level, will the decimation read active polys? So only decimate from your highest subdivision level. You don't want to decimate from anything but the highest subdivision level. Also, don't ever make anything 40 million polys. What are you doing? And there's nowhere to go. At that level, Bray, you are so dense with detail that you have polygons that are smaller than the pixels in your textures are going to be. Like you're at the point where it doesn't benefit you to be that high anymore. Oh yeah. You have 3 separate meshes that combine join up to 40? Well, that's not bad at all. You shouldn't have to decimate that at all. That's just 10 million per mesh. No, wait. Bray, when you say active, I think you're not counting. So it doesn't read polys. You said decimation read active polys. ZBrush doesn't count polys. It does when you Z-remesh. But the number at the top in the center of the screen is vertices, not polys. And that's really, really big difference, because that number is way smaller than the number of polygons, or that number is bigger than the number of polygons you're going to have. Yes. When you decimate, it only reads active points. It only reads the mesh you have. It won't decimate everything together. Okay, comic book. Here we go. I told you Superman was going to be here at some point. Actually, technically not Superman. Nose. Give it everything she's got. She's a roller, yeah. I roller, baby. Woo! A roller, yeah. I feel like I skipped one. I did. I skipped the paperweight. Son of bitches. Doodle-doo, 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 doodle-doo. My. Hey, dude, what's up? I haven't seen Noodle in a while. I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, all the pandemic stuff aside. Good, good, man. Well, this would be a way to do it. We got a lot of people here who are 3D modeling, who are talking back and forth. We've got a Discord channel too, my friend. If you wanted to join that, shoot me an email, and I'll send you the link. But we got simultaneous conversations going on both here and there while we go about doing this. And so, yeah, you can post work in progress and things like that. And people give you feedback. People go review what you're doing. You can also do the same for others. Do it, man. Do it up. It was Perseus, right? I'm gonna look this up. Minotaur. The Minotaur. I'm pretty sure it was Perseus who fought the Minotaur. What I do till it's gone. Theseus. That's who got him. Oh, I thought it was Perseus. Theseus? Theseus. Whoa, till it's gone. It's not just the tail of a bull. It's the head and lower body of a bull. And the torso and arms of a human being. That's what I'm going to search, not on the screen here. Only because I'm a little afraid of what's going to come up when I search this. Just because you got yourself in some shit, it doesn't mean I have to come deal with it. You dream on the main. Handle your own. Till it's gone. Oh, till it's gone. Till it's gone. I didn't find anything overtly nasty. There's a bunch of stuff that probably shouldn't have been in the live stream. Doom, doom. I don't think I've actually ever seen a female minotaur. To my father. On his way, Jimco. My head remembering everything you said. The silence just nowhere. Okay. I am not going to get to use a female minotaur, so my next two have to be female. I need someone, but you don't know. Ruck from Role Models. Bobby, the hell are you talking about? Just a big energy drink thing. I'm assuming you meant truck. I got one here. I'm gonna do. Ah, damn it. I'm gonna do male as long as I get 2 female in the next one. Only because I really, really like this artwork. Because it's really badass. And for whatever reason, it seems like everybody thinks that a... Yeesh. Oh, he's not going to work. I really like that one, but he's too horizontal to fit in the window. I wonder if I could rotate him in such a way as to get them all in there. Eesh. Yeah, I know he's not going to fit. It's unfortunate. I really like the artwork of that one. It seems like all the female Minotaur stuff that I found was only just turning her into turning them into a cow, which I didn't really that's not my favorite. There we go. That one will do. Trey, you're perfect. Yes, it's true. Without me, you're only you. The Minotaur. Safe. And JPEG. And we're up to 30. Minotaur. Minotaur. However you choose to pronounce it. Yeah, dude, there's some really nice stuff in Maya. What are you doing in Maya? That's all good, Christian. Oh. I get it. You're watching a tutorial, but you're doing it in Max. You're translating. It's not easy, man. Okay, what am I doing? I keep looking at the Minotaur thinking something's going to change. Now I'm on the comic book. Okay, 32. What? Hold the... Okay, that's good. I thought I was off in numbers. 31. This is where my font has to drop down. You're perfect. Yes. Damn it. Don't do that. You're only you. The doppelganger. You picked up the comic book. For the duration of third year, you're going to be working on the doppelganger. Are evil versions of good people. What the? Okay. On my way. 31. Doppelganger. Damn it. You know what the problem is with Blender, though, guys, is that because it's open source, there's too many cooks. And you just find too much inconsistency in the UI. And it makes it bafflingly hard to use. Letting out the noise inside of me. God damn it. I misspelled doppelganger everywhere. It's not double, it's double. 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 Actually, should have an umlaut on it as well, but I ain't doing that. This is how it feels to not believe. Way away from here I'll be. I'm gonna give it to you, come on, give it to me. Your blood is black and blue. Give it your last shot, tell me. Tell me where it hurts. This one's rather hard to nail down. Got it. Come on and give it to me. Minotaur. And now we got a doppelganger. Took me long enough to find one. Cry, baby, cry. Okay, no. Evil twin. Done. 32. Doppel. Ganger. Now I gotta go into the folder and delete the one that I misspelled. Doppelganger. And you're not 32. You need 31. Love is black and blue. Okay, doppelganger. I'm in the bottom list here. Grendel. It was neat. I had my my father-in-law take a look at the game and look at what I was putting together. Okay. I'm reading your conversation. You guys just talk amongst yourselves. What am I doing? I'm doing Grendel. Yeah, I had my father-in-law play the game and look at the totems and the mysteries therein. He was actually able to figure out a ton of them, which was really cool. It made me feel like I was on the right path. Holding on to everything. Mom. 2, 3, 4. I heard the sound of the pouring rain. Armageddon flame. Candles talking out of time. Call faith and misery. What's going on? Do. From the hollow lights. No, don't do that. Grendel. You've picked up the coin. The creature you'll be creating for the is Grendel. Grendel. Tag. So now there is about Grendel. I think I'm on 32. Yeah. Government. Bang, bang, go the cast. Don't agree. Satisfy her. Meant for me. Just cause. Okay, what are you asking me about? What are you going on? Model characters, model characters. How far back do I have to read? A noob getting into character one. George, you were one of my students, for fuck's sakes. There's no magic about getting into character art. It's the same as anything. You want to get good at something, you do it repeatedly until you're good at it. That's the trick to anything. You want to get good at baking a cake, playing piano, modeling characters. You just do that thing over and over and over, working out where your problems are and how to get better. Now, you might not know the ingredients to a cake, to baking a cake, and that might make it hard to bake a cake, and you might have to look those up. The same is true with character modeling. You may not know all of the bits and pieces of, the anatomy of a human being. And so you look those up. You get yourself a really good anatomy book, as Nexus here has pointed out, and you get yourself a really good anatomy book, and you follow it. Do anatomical exercises, model an arm that is, supinated and pronated, and model it flexed and unflexed. Bend the elbow, bend the wrist, twist it. Model it in every single, don't worry about making a character. Just model an arm. Do it 30 times. I guarantee you, by the time you hit about, the 10th or 11th time, you're going to know where everything is on that arm. And then do yourself a torso. Model the torso over and over and over again. Look at the anatomy. Look at where the muscles go. Look at the shapes that it takes. And then model it in different, poses. Move the shoulders forward. Move them back. Move them up. Lift the arms. Everything that will deform that torso. And the more you do this over and over and over again, the better it'll become. It's just like anything. You just got to do it more than once. You got to, there's no secret recipe. There's no, there's nothing like that. There's no shortcuts. Everything is work. Everything is do it over and over and over. And eventually you will start learning the thing that you've done over and over. It's memorization. It's memorizing something you've never done before. Oh yeah, insertion, origin are really important as well. Knowing where those muscles are. I walk alone. The best book that I've found for doing that is Anatomy for Artists by Elliot Goldfinger. Elements of Form. It is a brilliant book that shows 4 images for every muscle. And what you get is the skeleton with just the insertion and origin points highlighted on it, like drawn on the bone. The next image, image number 2, is the skeleton with just that muscle, so you can see what it looks like on the skeleton. Image number 3 is the entirety of the musculature, and you can see that muscle in relation to all the other muscles. And image number 4 is a photograph of a human being with that same position, same pose, so you can see what that muscle looks like on the external surface. And so that book is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I'll write it down. And that is by far the biggest help I found with learning anatomy. It's really, really useful. Okay. Get into... Did I save this? I forgot where I was. 32, Grendel, done. Yes, I did get it. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the... Okay, that's fine. So I did Grendel. That was the coin. The fedora. Okay. And this is where I'm going to get a little creative with the names. The Night Stalker. No. The Dreamwalker. It's a really useful book. Actually, it's not even something you have to buy. You can find it online for free as a PDF. It's a really, really old book. You would, Christian, because when I taught you character work, it was one that I recommended all of you guys get. It's really, really useful. And so if you listened to me, you would have it already. You picked up the fedora. You know what? I don't really like that book. There's a bunch of mistakes I found in it. The best thing that you can do when using anatomy books is don't just get hooked on one. Because what you're going to do is you're going to inherit mistakes that are present in whatever reference you're using. But if you can use more than one source for your reference, you'll kind of start weeding out the inconsistencies. And that book in particular, I think it's only PDF. I don't think it was actually ever a book. But it was kind of like a Kickstarter, I think, that they did. And I have found mistakes all over the place in it that are just not good. They're mistakes that really shouldn't happen in an anatomy book. And so it isn't one I really recommend. If you're just starting out, it's probably not bad to follow that, but like don't use it as a Bible. There's just too many little inconsistencies in there. It to me, what that book is them cobbling together a bunch of other reference that they found, and kind of putting that in a book. And so it's kind of like just Googling a bunch of anatomy, and whatever you find, you put into a book and put your name on it. That's what that looked like to me. I told you, my friend. It is available on PDF. I have a whole slew of books. Here, let me. I have a whole bunch that are good ones. And actually the one that I just said is not fantastic is in there too. But let me oh, I wonder if I have that on this machine. Let me go see here. Projects. School. Where the hell would I have put this? Go. It's in here somewhere. 3D sculpting. That's just the anatomy. Assignment breakdowns. Character 1, character 2. Wait, what am I in? Just in school. GBC 5th. Dun 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 dun. Down. No, it's gonna be an organic modeling. I don't even see it here. I am a worm before I am a man. Dum dum da 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 dum dum. Yeah, I don't see it. I do have somewhere. I do have a list of recommended reading. I'll track it down. It might even just be on my Google Drive, but I'll track it down and I'll post it in the Discord for people to find. But it's just a bunch of really good books. Yeah, it's attached to the cricoid process of the scapula. At least at the origin point, it's attached to the cricoid process of the scapula and the acromion process of the scapula. The bony top part of the scapula and the finger that sticks forward. But that's because your bicep actually isn't responsible for anything that your humerus does. Your bicep is actually responsible for the supination and pronation of your arm. And you can feel this if you actually just curl your arm and put your fingers at the end of your bicep and then supinate and pronate your hand. You'll actually feel your bicep doing its thing. So whenever you see guys at the gym like flexing and doing, that's not their biceps. It's actually a muscle called the brachialis, which is underneath the bicep and even bigger than the bicep. Okay. Was a creature before I could stand. Mm-hmm. How many of you played with your biceps when I told you to? I didn't say Simon Says. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. From the door we were never trained to last. 45. You gonna tap yourself. I really thought this picture was bigger. It's not going to work. Oh, Bray. All we are is empty. Oh, we believe that we... It's rather ridiculously tough to find what I'm looking for. That'll work. Okay. $33 done. 33. Dreamwalker. It's the only thing. It slowly stops the ache. Bum, 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 bum. You know what, Bray? I honestly think that something that geometric that you're making would have been easier in Designer instead of modeling it. Okay, who's next on my list? After the Dreamwalker. The supernatural killer. The ever-living killer. The ever-living killer. You've picked up the calendar. Is the ever-living killer. Killed, though many have tried. You win, then get back up. Continue there. Continue the pursuit. Okay, Mr. Voorhees. All I've got is insane. And there we have Mr. Voorhees joining the party. What are we at? 34? Did I name him correctly? No, I did not. Must name him correctly. Do it for Mummy, Jason. Do it for Mummy. Okay. 34. I've got about 15 left to do. Calendar. Cap. Michael Myers. Okay. It just so happened. Just so happened. No one sees the numbers. Well, I guess they see them on the cards. But the numbers are for my own personal thing. I just put them on here to make it look more like a trading card. Okay, so after the ever-living killer, the ever-living, we've got the unstoppable. The unstoppable killer. You've picked up the cap. Do. You got it, George? Feel free to pop by, man. We're here weeknights from like 8 till 12 or so, and you're welcome to come hang out and, you know.
Georgie? My Georgie?
All right.
They float down here, Georgie. They all float down here.
I am making the deck of cards that is going to get handed out to students when they play this game, and so it's taken a long time, but it's getting there. I'll stop here. This creature cannot be stopped. They're stopped. They are unrelentless and just keep coming. Nothing supernatural here. No, it's a I've shown it before. It's the abandoned basement that the students are gonna wander through and pick up things at random, and when they find something that they are interested in, they are given the option of picking it up, and when they pick it up, they are then going to lock in their fate, and they're going to end up doing a monster based on whatever that item is. And so what I'm doing is I'm creating a series of cards. You can see I've got a whole bunch of them here that I've done. A series of cards that are going to get emailed to the students. So if you pick up something like the calendar, you're going to end up being Jason Voorhees, and you'll get the Jason Voorhees card emailed to you, so you know what you're doing. And so that's what it's for. It's for a 3D game, but it's going to be the email attachment that students get. Here. Unrelenting urge to end life. Sure, man. Give me a sec here to save this. I want to make sure I get the right number here. 34 is the ever living, so now I got to change the number. So this should be 5. And then I just need an image of Michael Myers. And you want to step with this. BB King, it's so fast. If my music was a drug, I would sell it by the gram. Not too small. There we go. Okay, so let me save this out. JPEG. And we are at 35. Unstoppable. Killer. Okay. Okay, so you want to see a little gameplay. I can do that. Ray and listen, Ice is back. A brand new invention. Something gets a hold of me tightly. Throw it like a harpoon, daily and nightly. Okay, here we go. You know what I'll do? I'll give you the full treatment here. Stop my music. And we'll enable the desktop audio. Let me just make sure that you actually can hear something. Looks good. Okay. F11, Alt-P. So it starts off a little bit like this, where students are going to get the option to input their names, which I'll do here. Topher. They're then going to enter their email address. If I could spell my own freaking name, it would help. There we go. That's my email address, and I hit enter, and as long as everything is okie dokie over here, the play button will appear. You hit play, and we'll get a loading screen, and then it pops into game. And I now spawn randomly somewhere in the basement. Don't mind the Bobsy twins here. This is the actual playable character. I'm still using Unreal's White Robot guy as I work away on the playable character here. But that's what he's going to look like, the playable character. For now, we're still using this guy. Students are going to spawn randomly at various positions in the basement, and they're not going to be given any direction. They're just going to be given the map, and so odds are they'll just kind of start wandering around and looking for something to do. And they can go from one side to the other. We can go over here. And there are supposed to be items that, on occasion, are going to grab their interest. And so what they're going to do is walk around and eventually find something, like over here. So you can see, I found an item now that glows. Now, I haven't done it yet, but there's going to be a UI that occurs when an item glows like this. And that UI is going to say at the bottom of the screen, it's going to say left-click to interact. And so if I click to interact, we get the cap here, and it says, looks like an old movie prop. Well, it has to be. No one would wear this in real life. I guess maybe you could wear it for Halloween. And for some items, it's very obvious what the creature is that they're going to be doing, and for some of them, it's not so obvious. So in this one, the clues to who it is are in the Wayne's World on the cap, and the fact that it says Halloween here. So this is the one that I just did, the Michael Myers, the unstoppable killer. So when they find something and they're interacting with it in this way, they then have two options, which are to put the item back and to take the item. So if they put the item back, it goes back into the world where it was, then they walk around again. If instead they pick up the item and they take it, it's going to fade out, the camera's going to topple to the ground, and we're going to see the kid standing in the corner, all Blair Witch. And eventually the kid's going to kind of turn and look at the camera a little bit, which is going to be creepy AF. But then when that happens, it'll fade out again, which I haven't built in, and then the game will quit. Now, what happened behind the scenes that you may not have been completely aware of is that the game emailed me, being their teacher, student selection has been made. And if I open this up, it says up here, Topher, you've picked up the cap. Looks like an old movie prop. Well, it has to be. No one would wear this in real life. I guess maybe you could wear it for Halloween. So that's the description of the item you picked up. The other thing that's going to happen is that there's going to be an attachment here, which are the things that I was just working on. So in the case of this one, this will be the attachment. And it'll say you've got the unstoppable killer. You've picked up the cap. The creature you will be creating for the duration of 30 years, the unstoppable killer. And they get a little bit of a description of what this kind of thing is and what they should need to do with it. And so there are 50 of these things that I need to do. They're going to appear at random. I get that email because I'm the teacher. And so that's what's going to happen on my end. In fact, I don't need the attachment. I'm not going to send myself the attachment. their school email address, what they receive is an email that says your fate. And when I pop this email open, it's essentially the same thing. You can actually see a bunch of these things: your fate, your fate, your fate, your fate, your fate. But it just says, first, this email came from outside of George Brown, so if you don't know it, ignore it. But then it says, Topher, you picked up the cap. And then again, the same description, and then this is where their attachment will be. And so there. That's all the whole system is. And so, yeah, I'm in the process right now of doing these cards that I'm going to, they're all going to get uploaded into the game because the game is what emails everybody. And so it's going to email the students from the game, and that's what these cards are for. So now I'm just going through and trying to go through my entire list here, knocking them off, hopefully, to the point that I can get this done. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to do one more here. This one is the Maniac Killer. This is number 36. The other reason I need to stop this relatively soon is that if you didn't know, Photoshop creates temporary files while you work. And you got to be really careful where you put them near things because, oh boy, do they get big. Check this out. Here's my D drive, which is where Photoshop puts its stuff. And I can see all my temp folders, and then I've got a 3.5 gig file that is my backup file. That is exactly it. I'm going to have them wander around. And again, I don't tell them what the premise of the game is. I just give them the game, and I'm like, here, play this, and then we'll talk about what you get. And so whatever the first thing they interact with is going to be what they end up doing. And so, yeah, it's a really neat way of kind of, I don't know how many random spots in the map I'm going to make, but there's going to be enough that it varies the things around and such. And so, yeah, it'll be really fun. Now, the Maniac Killer. You picked up... it's funny, though. They're all 0. They're all 0, dude. Look. They're all 0 kilobytes. It's a file that doesn't take any space. It's just filling my hard drive with freaking nothingness. The nice thing is, as soon as I close Photoshop, all these files disappear. It's just that 3.5 gig file just sits there. It's brutal. Is the Maniac Killer. We'll go to here. This kills for sport or food. Or who knows why. When they kill, they do it as messy as they can. Have only made one small project with Unreal, but have you recently started up on blueprinting? Just unwrapping Ian. Ian unwrapping Maya. It's so much easier. Yeah, Corrupt. That's you, Levi, right? If I remember correctly. I'm really good with blueprints. I can do just about anything with them, given enough time. But yeah, this is all blueprint run. This whole thing. Okay, as messy as they can. When they kill, they do it as messy as they can. The best. Full of this is Leatherface. This is a capital. Oh, that's right, Ryan. I'm trying to remember whose name was what. Maya bought an unwrapping plugin, is what happened. I won't unwrap in Max anymore. It's so pointless. Comma space, though, you can make your own take on this monster. Later, Ryan. Okay, I'm going to save this. Can't save this yet. That's the wrong feller. Okay, this is about it for me here. I'm about pooched. I'm starting to see double in everything that I do. And also, got my in-laws sleeping in the room next door, so I should probably be a little quieter than I am. So we'll scale down Leatherface here. No, don't. I'm getting so much lag out of this stupid software. Granted, I have a cubic buttload of layers here, so there's also that. Okay. The reason I'm not getting rid of any of my layers is I want to be able to, when I find all my spelling mistakes, come back and clean them up. There we go. Now I can save this. Okay, JPEG. This should be 36. I changed to 36, yeah? Yeah. Okay, 36. This is the maniac killer. Okay, then I'm just gonna hit save to get my PSD saved. And how many more do I have left to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more to go. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. Okay, let's watch my auto backs disappear here as I close this. Blink. There's all my auto backs, and doop 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 doop. They didn't all go away. Till now. This one says it's not there. Not there. It's gone. So not too bad. I'm getting a pretty good collection of these things here now. And yeah. I think once all 50 are done, this will look pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. And I'll be on Discord over the weekend, but I won't be live streaming over the weekend, or at least not for long. I have no planned live stream. If I do live stream, I'll mention it on the Discord server before I jump in. And so, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And let's do